Hey everybody, welcome to Tat Talk. I am here with my guest and the host actually of Tat Talk, Kelsey Sprinkle from the Ram's Horn. Thanks for being here, Kelsey.
Yeah, well thanks for having me, as always.
I love when you join the round table because you always have interesting things to bring to the table. Usually particularly questions that were sent in to you. Mm-hmm. We posed a couple of those questions on Muddy River News, actually a couple of posts and opportunities for you to submit your questions, so you might actually hear your question. How many, did you get a lot of feedback response?
I got quite a few. I try to weed out ones that are close to other ones.
Yeah.
But I do have some good ones.
This is like maybe our 4th or 5th Tat Talk, so you might hear some of the same questions, but we like to mix it up, switch it up, and we're going to do a couple little things different today.
Yeah, and some of the answers might be a little different because things are subject to change.
Yeah,
so
all the time.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get it started.
Yes. Do you want to do yours first, or?
No, let's do the guest first. By always, guest first.
Guest first. And I'm sorry if you can't read my handwriting. It's chicken scratch, but I think it's pretty legible.
You have the most beautiful handwriting. What should someone look for to get a new tattoo or going to a shop?
So I always recommend is we live in a digital era now. Mm-hmm. So like before, like years ago, even like something like 10 years ago, it's a little bit harder to dig around and find things. But now in an era of social media and just internet, period, always look into the artist that you're initially looking at. So you're like, oh, I'm browsing for this, or like this person in this area with this style. Just the internet straight across. You could just, Google search someone, Instagram, Facebook, name it. Really look into the person, see if their portfolio provides what you're looking for. And like there's so many people to choose from now. It's kind of an oversaturated market right now, admittedly. But it's such an easy thing to look online and just to see what people have. And outside of just their style, and if that's the person you vibe with, and sometimes meeting the person in person can dictate whether or not you want to go to them.
Yeah. Because
sometimes people's personality may or may not jive with you. And also, some people are just assholes. So you don't want that. It sounds so crude, but it's just some people are just assholes.
Yeah.
And you don't want that energy without being the suso, like this spiritual moment, you don't want that energy to be put into your tattoo because you're in a moment of vulnerability, and that energy, if you're not vibing with the person, that can be associated with that tattoo.
And then it's forever.
And another thing to look into the shop part is alongside the artist, there's no excuse on a modern level where make sure people are licensed.
Yeah.
And by the way, you also can contact your local health department to see who is not licensed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they will just straight up tell you.
Wow.
So get your licenses together, people. I know who you are. It's unacceptable. Shops and artists. So the artist needs to be individually licensed. Every state, whatever, is different. But for Illinois, every single artist needs to have their bloodborne pathogen test certificate renewed every single year. Every year it's taken, every year. We take it every year. And then the same with the shop, the business itself needs to be certified as well. And they need to be front and center, and each artist booth needs to be like hung up. And then when you walk into a shop, it needs to also be hung up as well. Ours is like as soon as you walk in at the desk right there, there's no hiding it. And if someone doesn't have that up, or if you ask for that and they ask, or they are defensive on that, red flag.
Yeah, super red flag.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest difference between you and the others. I don't want to say just the licensing, but your stress of the importance behind it. Also, not to mention just the sheer talent behind you, and then I call them the basement scratchers.
Yeah, scratchers.
And, young people are vulnerable to that, where they think they're going to get it cheaper, or they're helping their friend out by doing this, and you're taking a gamble. You're taking a gamble with your health, your skin, and the foreverness behind it too. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing is being your health. I want to top on this question. Mm-hmm. So it is overwhelming when it's like, what do you look for? So do you have specific artists that you suggest when there's like skimming things online, like, hey, check this out. What are some of your favorites?
Oh gosh. Like individual artists
Yeah,
or
if they're like looking through their different portfolios. I mean, famous people. I know that you go to different shows and things like that. Maybe people that you've met there. Like, just off the top of your head, if somebody said, hey, who should I look up?
oh gosh, like as a to spread the So of course my friends and coworkers, I'm a little biased on that.
Oh, yeah.
Then there's Robert and then Michaela and Kira. Kira's our newest member. And they're all tied to the shop, so they'd be pretty easy to look up. But of course, I have my friend Chris Hall and Mike. He goes by, I think, Mike Diamond, who actually did my back. He's in Keokuk, or not Keokuk. Oh my God, I'm messing this up, everybody.
Oh, no.
My friend Chris Hall and Kayla, they're in Keokuk, but there is Mike, who is in Des Moines, Iowa. I don't know how I got that mixed up. Sorry,
Well, I mean,
everybody.
you're traveling all over. You're meeting all kinds of people. It's probably pretty easy to mix it up.
And gosh, I'll have to look up their specific Instagram tags. Sorry, but
Do you
I have
Instagram?
yeah, I'm really bad at it though.
Yeah,
I'll
I feel
be
the
honest.
same.
I hate being. It's like if you're a business owner, then you're like, oh, now you're an influencer. Now it's like I didn't agree to this, but cool. But I am, but I'm admittedly very bad on it, and I need to do better.
Also, with that question, so like when people come in and they're like, I saw this on the internet. So, you know, you said we live in a digital age. So that idea of coming in with something has probably changed, like you said, in the last 10 years. 10 years ago, did it tick artists off when they came in and said, hey, I want this? Or nothing's really changed?
Nope, not for me. Like at least when I first started, and it's been almost 10 years now, which is crazy
Nice.
times, weird.
Congratulations
Well,
on
thank
your
you.
decade.
It's like time. Where am I? What
Yeah.
year is it? No, because I like people having a form of reference of here's my vision, but I want you to roll with it, or here's some references I like, but just an amalgamation of these things to make it your own design. So I'd rather have someone come to me and with that than not at all, because sometimes people have come in and be like, I want a tattoo that I don't know what I want. That ticks me a bit.
I
'cause
could
it's
imagine. That's like,
why are we talking then?
oh my gosh. So when they do that to me at the bar and I'm like, you don't know what you want to drink? I couldn't even imagine if somebody's like, I want a tattoo, but I don't know.
Yeah.
What.
Do you want, this?
Yeah.
That's like, I can throw a sick dragon at you, but I can guarantee you that's not what you want.
Yeah.
But,
All right. Next question from the viewers.
oh,
I know I
little
snuck in
shimmy
a
shake.
couple of mine there. Da-da-da-da.
oh, and Jake Bailey. That's another one. He's a friend of mine. Yes.
I followed him actually on Instagram. That was
Yes.
where I met and started following him. Is there color that's hard to work with?
It depends on the individual, depends on your skin type, and that means like not just like if you're pigmented or melanated skin, but if your skin type is dry or if you have a combo skin or oily, I can go on and on. But I find a reoccurring color that can be a little tricky, especially to hold up the best, or the initial tattooing process, it doesn't show up very brightly. Like a light blue or kind of like a robin's egg blue that I use, it can be tricky to where it's like, hey, this is going to look rough for a sec, just because like the redness and swelling, it creates such a strange amalgamation. It doesn't look very bright, but it's like when that redness goes down, it's going to look great. So usually like kind of like lighter blues or lighter hue of colors can be that way, or even straight up yellows, because there's such a lighter tone of color. And usually they aren't very opaque. Some are more opaque than others, but those are one of those colors where it's like, hey, it's gonna look kind of fucky for a bit, or like, if I could say bad words, sorry, I'm already on the tangent, where like, or like the blood or redness and the agitation mixes with that pigment and it makes it look off, but it's like, hey.
But then in like 2-3 weeks time.
Yeah, it's
the
like,
color you
let that
intended.
redness goes down, it's fine.
So when those colors, say like you do those colors,
Mm-hmm.
do people come to you later and say, I just want all my color redone? Is that a common thing?
It can happen. Like, and I always welcome touch-ups. Like, my first one's always for free, just as long as it's within the realm of a year.
Okay, but like say I wanted to brighten up all my colors, and I came to you for that. Is that something that has anyone ever done? Saying, I just want to brighten up all my colors.
Yeah.
Is that common?
I wouldn't say common, but maybe it's not uncommon though. Or if it's tattoos that have aged and that just happens, like our skin changes. No matter what.
And then sun exposure.
Yes.
You know, regardless, even if you're using your SPF, I feel like
SPF 5000.
Yeah, it's still kind of fading. So if I were to get that redone though, is it going to be different since it's already tattooed skin?
Not too much different. Like I can try my best to, for instance, if we were doing your arm, I could do my best to color match as much as I can what that color would be, because there's like 5 million different greens, 5 million different reds, but it won't hurt anything. It just will help brighten that color. So there's layers in the dermis or in the epidermis where we're injecting the pigment into. It's where our skin colors are. So with time, our body breaks it down. Like, for instance, this is like a pigment, like a molecule or pigment, whatever. What happens with time is that our body breaks it down and kind of eats it in a way, and it kind of dissolves it slightly to where they're still there, but it's less concentrated in one spot. And that's why the bold will hold things. You'll hear about that versus fine line tattoos, where things kind of get broken down and separate and dissolve into our body. If we go back through it, it'll just kind of just replace where it was. And it won't affect much at all.
Well, I might be doing
if any of this doesn't make any sense,
no,
just
that
tell me.
actually
Sorry.
does make sense.
Okay.
And, it makes it so that I'm not as, obviously everything with tattoos, you're a little mindful, maybe fearful when going into it. So, I was thinking about saying, hey, I just need a complete touch-up on everything because I feel like my colors are dimming a little bit, and I loved that fresh, vibrant, look from a tattoo.
Like bright.
So let's go on with another guest question, then I'll hit you up with some of my own, if that's okay.
Yeah.
This feels like a good one. It feels like a winner.
Chicken dinner.
Okay, so outside of tattooing, is there any way I can support your business? That's a good one.
There's always support in sharing the word. There's always support in, again, going back to a social media era, just sharing the stuff. Even if you're not into tattoos, I'll have people, for instance, like my grandparents who aren't with us anymore. They're like, oh, we love your stuff. Tattoos aren't for us. We don't understand, but we still love the art aspect. So she would always like talk us up and be like, oh, my granddaughter, this is her shop, and I don't have any tattoos, but I see you do. You should totally go there and check her out. Or it's just the spread of word, just, of course, liking our stuff or sharing our Facebook stuff, Instagram, and, of course, we have merch, too. We have, like, shirts and other goodies, and each of us artists are artists in the end of the day, not just purely in the form of tattooing, but we have paintings and illustrations that we'll have hung up on the wall that we do sell. Sometimes some are harder to part ways with than others, but I'm always down to sell them because in the end, art is also for sharing. So it's like no one can appreciate it more if I'm just hoarding this thing on my wall, but just sharing the word and just supporting the art as well, and just merch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spoke earlier when we were previewing Tat Talk. It was on our morning show, I believe. I was sharing with everyone how if you've seen some of Kelsey's murals around town, they're beautiful. Talk about sharing with the public. I mean, you actually make, I don't know, every experience because of that mural is different. I know the one, it's in Clean Eats, I see.
Yep.
The taco place up here, Arnadas.
Arandes?
Yeah,
Arandes?
Arandes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I probably butchered that.
I think you said it right. I butchered it. They're not one of my clients, so I don't remember it. But they have some tasty tacos, I will say. Tasty tacos. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so those murals, I think just, it spices up life. So thank you for that.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Okay, so I have a couple tattoo questions myself, and then I also wanted to do Tat Talk Rapid Fire. We've never done that on Tat Talk before. And those I would not let you know, but I did want you to be mindful because these questions that I have might be a little different from the viewers. So,
I'm Chris Pratt. I've lived and worked in Quincy my entire life. I started out in our local restaurants, built my career as an attorney, and today I'm honored to serve our community as a judge. Giving back and serving the people of Central Illinois has always been at the heart of my work. This community raised me, supported me, and shaped who I am. That's why I believe in justice, rooted in the values of the people who live here. I'm Chris Pratt, and I'm asking for your vote on March 17th in the Republican primary for Circuit Judge. Thank you.
Welcome out to Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer and it feels so right. I'll meet you out on Broadway underneath Shamrock Light. We're gonna have a good time on the patio tonight. There's a party down at Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer on a champagne night. We're feeling all alone and you got no place to go. So come down here and drink a beer on Kelly's patio. Kelly's a fun place to eat and drink. 2902 Broadway.
Bass says, lock 'em up. Pratt says, let 'em go. It really is as simple as that. J.B. Pritzker's Safety Act eliminates cash bail and puts dangerous criminals back on the street. Tim Bass opposes the Safety Act. Chris Pratt supports the Safety Act. For a judge who rules in favor of a safer community, vote Tim Bass on or before Tuesday, March 17th.
my first one.
Okay.
Do you think tattoos change the way people see themselves?
Yes. Absolutely. Like, at least for me, I feel like it's a sense without, like the clothing you wear, the hair you have, and we were actually just talking about like hair length and everything, where it's a sense of identity and expression, like clothes, but just more permanence on what we have every day, and we take it to the grave. And it tells a little bit of ourselves and who we are, and it doesn't necessarily have to be this deep and meaningful tattoo. It's like, oh, this is from my great aunt that passed, or something, or if it's something that you like, that's enough of a reason that kind of tells a little bit about yourself. But for me, it gives me more confidence on my body, especially parts that I'm a bit more harsher on, to where it's like I'm more excited to show that body part and like wear shorts or something, because it's like, look at it. And it's like really, and they're cool and they aren't easy to get.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a little badge to be like, look what I went through to get this thing. Or it just is a great way of self-expression.
Yeah.
I feel better about myself getting tattooed because I could show part of me off in a different way than, the common individual. But I would agree. It can very much affect the way people feel on themselves and like really boost people's confidence. I've had a lot of clients be like, hey, this body part I'm not particularly confident on, but now that's like, oh, look at me now.
Yeah. I don't necessarily like showing my arms off anymore because I feel like, I used to lift and it all went away. But every once in a while, if I get a new tattoo on my arm, I'm like, check it out.
You're like,
yeah. But I agree totally with the aspect of style. So it's like more like you said, it's permanent style. Whereas our clothes, our makeup, our hair, that can change. This is a style that you want, you are going to stick with. It is permanent. But speaking of hair real quick, we were chatting a little bit about hair. I was just admiring your hair. First of all, it like grows so fast. I'm so jelly. But what did you just tell me you plan on doing?
I'm going to chop my hair off. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, long hair stands and my husband. Sorry. I've always had for the longest time like short hair.
Yeah,
I've always had an affinity for it.
You had the best, almost, it was like not a mohawk, but it was kind of
like a faux hawk thing.
Yes,
yep.
I loved it. And you had all different colors and it was great.
And I just don't like having long hair. I just don't. It doesn't vibe with me, going back to like self-expression and identity. It doesn't vibe with me. I hate the maintenance of it. Granted, it's like
Maintenance
pretty.
is so hard on hair.
It takes forever to dry. I gotta
Yep.
brush it. It gets all knotty if I don't brush it every day. I just don't care for the long hairstyle. Sure, it's pretty and it's cute and feminine, but it's not really me. So when I get to my health goal and the length goal of my hair, I'm chopping it all off. It's gone. Go. Zip. Starting from ground zero.
But you're
Yep.
donating it, right?
Yes. So I believe it's called, and I'm probably butchering this, sorry, it's like insert here if this is the wrong title for it. It's, I believe, called Wigs for Kids.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yep.
It's not Locks of Love, that's a different entity, but the Wigs for Kids, there's a certain requirement, like length and everything, where you chop it off, and I believe you send it off in the mail.
Yeah.
It sounds so weird. It's like, whose hair is this?
Yeah.
Where then it goes to a child or someone who has got like an illness or something where these kids don't have the things that we're so spoiled on.
Yeah.
While for me, I could just grow my hair out. To me, that's not a big deal. To where a kid that can go towards them and help them feel better.
Yeah.
So when I hit that goal in the length goal, chopping it off, literally buzzing my hair bald.
Well, I
Starting from
hope you
ground
video
zero.
it and you share it on social media, 'cause I
Yeah.
think that would be a good one. Okay, so another question that I had, is there a tattoo placement? Oh, this is the one I was kind of thinking of. Is there a tattoo placement that people think will be easy, but actually ends up being brutal?
Probably the elbow.
Yeah.
The bony parts, A, suck, and then B, they're not always guaranteed to last the best. And every body is different, every execution of the tattoo is different, XYZ, how well it's taken care of. But probably the elbow, and you'll see a lot of times where people will kind of just work around the elbows just to avoid any excessive discomfort for people, just to be like, hey, just heads up, I'm gonna go around it, and it's also not gonna last if we were to blast over
Yeah.
it. But for some people, like, I'm honestly surprised how well mine have held up. But for some people, it just straight up falls out.
Yeah. I thank you over and over again. My bright idea was to get a tattoo right on my elbow, and actually, no, it was this one, I think. And we moved it up placement-wise.
Oh, because it was the flower, like,
Yeah, we were
right
going
there.
to do, it's my spike flower for my friend Spike. She loves sunflowers, and yeah, I'm really glad that you talked me out of that one, because the way that I move my arms all the time, like after thinking about it, washing dishes, this, and this, it probably wouldn't have lasted, and it probably wouldn't have looked great, especially when, you know, I'm older and I'm rocking this sweet skin in 80. That's what I'm
Well,
hoping for.
and people don't realize, like, how
Yeah.
we, like, bonk up against stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And some people, for instance, have a bit more callus buildup. Some people don't. And if someone has more of a callus buildup, that I can just guarantee you it's just going to fall out. Same with
Yeah.
hands, you know? It's just, if there's that tough layer of skin, it chances are it won't hold.
So the softer the skin, the better. Yeah?
Sometimes.
Huh. Okay. What's the most, okay, we've done this one before, but it might have changed. What's
Okay.
the most meaningful tattoo story a client has ever shared with you?
Gosh, that's a hard one because I think it constantly changes. There is one particular one that at least pops in my head where it's a memorial for, there's two of them actually, a memorial for their wife that passed away. So it's very wholesome, and I get really emotionally attached with what I do and my clients. And if I don't see them after a while, I get concerned. I'm like, I hope they're doing okay, you know. Or so there is a tale of a memorial tattoo for their wife, or it would be, and this is like several times that this has happened, where someone had like a really bad relationship, or like a really, I know we throw the word out like abusive very loosely, but like genuinely abusive relationship, and we covered up that tattoo with something else when they were told, oh, you're just stuck with me, kind of thing. Like, you have this matching tattoo with me, you can't cover that up. It's kind of like using it, weaponizing that tattoo to be controlling and having that control on that person, where it's like, you know what, fuck this guy, and then I'm able to cover it up and
Yeah, healing powers.
Yeah.
I would have a hard time keeping my composure for the man or the woman getting something in honor of their spouse. Like, I'm a crier, so
Yes.
I would not do well in those situations.
I'm a feely person, and especially when I grow attached to people or like clients because that's how honestly a lot of my friends have occurred.
Yeah.
Is because I get close to my clients and we're like, hey, we're cool, and you'll see the memes of like keep yourself professional with your clients, and it's just the meme of them like laughing together or talking about the most inappropriate shit. There's a time and place. Sometimes you get the feel of how this person is, so you could joke with them, and then friendships develop. But it's hard to pinpoint one exact tale.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a multitude of ones, from people immoralizing or getting over like something really fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's probably it. And they'll always be in the back of my mind to be like, you know what, this is indeed my craft, but it's also
Your therapy.
yeah, it helps people, and that not just intrinsic. I think the word is intrinsic and intrinsic. That one, and altruistic,
Yeah.
to where it's the satisfaction and like
I get what you're
of
saying.
someone outside of you
Yeah.
feeling good.
But you did that. Mm-hmm. I get that. Yeah, altruism. Okay, so building on that real quick, another one that came to my mind was the fact that we live in a very, I don't want to say, okay, it's a crazy climate.
Yeah.
Especially with politics. We are in a divisive world where it's this side and that side. People claim to be down the middle, but generally I feel like everyone tends to be on a side. So,
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you your side.
Yeah.
I want to know, what do you do when someone's chatting with you, making small talk while you're sitting there carving their skin, and they're like, oh, yeah, you get it, right? And, I get that all the time as the bartender, where they think our ideologies or our, politics align, and they don't.
Yeah, and you're like, no.
So what do you do in those situations? Do you just keep going? Do you pretend? Sometimes that's me. I'm like, yeah. And I roll with it.
To certain stuff, but then other things I'll be like, oh no, this is how I feel about a thing. But
Yeah.
then you'll kind of get a feel on a person, but most of the time I'll kind of like cut it off. I'm like, oh yeah, this. Well, how about this instead? Because there's a time and place,
Yeah.
and like if I'm going to be sitting with you for a couple hours,
And it's a couple hours.
and I don't want to be talking about the bad
Yeah.
the bad shit that's happening right now in life. It's like, okay, yeah, that's great. There are certain things that where I stand firm, be like, yeah, no. But
Yeah.
most of the time, women's rights and LGBT plus
Yeah.
rights. But when I could foresee it, because it actually happened a little bit the other day, where it was like sprinkled in there, and like,
I'm telling
okay,
you.
how about, yeah, it's like, that's nice. Anyway, like, skirt, like off to a different subject.
That's probably the best bet.
Yeah.
I think, people tend to do that in everyday conversations with anything, whether it be, your tattoo artist, the guy bagging your groceries. Like, they're trying to, just sprinkle it in there or something. And I shouldn't say the guy, because it's usually, longer conversations. But that sprinkle in. I think most people need to do that instead of going full-fledged.
It's like, oh, this is happening. It's like,
Yes.
yeah, I know. Like, regardless of how you feel on it, but it's like, I don't want to talk about that right now.
Exactly.
I'm here to have a good time, not to have a heated debate with someone.
Exactly. Yeah, politics and tattoos don't mix, and I definitely wouldn't bring up your politics to your tattoo artist while they're sitting there carving your skin.
Well, and especially if, I wouldn't ever do that.
I know.
But especially if it's you're either this or that, it's like, not right now.
Yeah.
Not right now, guy.
Yeah, if anything.
Or gal, but mostly it's guys.
We're
Sorry,
setting up
guys.
to change and evolve with these tattoos, I think. We're making ourselves the best versions of ourselves. It's not the time and place, like you said.
Yeah.
Okay, so something we have not done in Tat Talk that I've been excited to do is called Tat Talk Rapid Fire. We all know what rapid fire is. It's like this or that. So I've tweaked it to make it about tattoos.
Okay.
And I am springing them on you.
Okay, ready.
All right. Drunk walk-ins.
No.
Or nervous first-timers.
Oh.
You can't
I thought it was
say.
like yes or no. I was like, no. If I had to choose one or the other,
Yeah.
nervous first timers.
Well, yeah.
Because
You don't even serve drunk walk-ins. Listen,
I didn't even let you finish the question. Sorry,
I know,
it was
I
immediately
loved
like,
it.
no.
Tiny finger tattoo or giant back piece?
Giant back piece.
Any day.
Any day.
Any day.
They last better anyway.
Someone who moves a lot or someone who talks the entire time?
Talks the whole time.
You like the talking,
Yes.
I feel like. Matching couple tattoos or cover-ups of matching couple tattoos?
That one. That one.
Wait,
It's
you
almost-
like doing the cover-ups more than the actual?
Yeah, because I know this is rapid fire. It's just,
No, it's fine.
It's almost bad mojo,
good.
and I have done like, hey, my wife and I have been together like 1,500 years. And it's like, okay,
That's what
sure,
it feels like.
as long as you know it's permanent, I'm gonna maybe recommend something else. But
Yeah.
if that's what you're set on, cool, tight. But it's almost bad mojo where it's like it happens, and then something always happens. Like you tattoo it. Something down the road always happens,
Yeah.
and you got to get it covered up. But I like me a good cover up because it's a fun challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pinterest tattoo request or draw whatever you want.
The second one, absolutely. As long as you trust me to draw whatever I want.
How many times do people say draw whatever you want? They see it and then they're like, and you're like, they say no, but then you're like, I just spent all this time drawing this.
It
How does
doesn't.
that work?
It honestly doesn't happen too often. Like the initial request, and most of the time when people, I've only maybe had a handful of people who are like, whatever you want, go ham. But I will always make sure if people are like, hey, are you cool with this idea? For instance, I love Godzilla. Not everyone loves Godzilla. Had someone not so long ago be like, hey, I got this space in my leg. They made an appointment. They're like, do whatever you want. Whatever brings you joy, like go ham.
Godzilla.
Be like, okay, we're going Godzilla. And it turned out sick. But of course, when he came in, I'm like, hey, how do you feel about Godzilla? He goes, oh, I love Godzilla. I'm like, me too. So, and I showed him what I had, and it turned out great. Doesn't happen always, but most of the time when people say, hey, do what you want, I'm like, I'm going to take your word for it.
I think that means you're a great tattoo artist if somebody's going to trust, everything. Also, I've got to send you a picture of the giant Godzilla poster that I have in my living room. You would love it. Okay, so more rapid fire. We're not
Yes.
actually rapid firing, but I like the explanation from Kelsey's. Okay, so a client who brings snacks or a client who brings their whole friend group?
Oh,
I
snacks,
already know
please.
that.
Snacks, I'm here for it. I don't ever expect it, but when people ask me what kind of drinks or snacks, yes.
Yes.
Because most of the time I haven't eaten that day, so it's like, give me snacks.
Oh my gosh.
I
you know how to
don't-
be a bartender's best friend? Bring them food.
Fair and food. I don't mind a friend, but when you make it a group, that gets a bit much. It becomes a crowd.
Also, it's probably not sanitary, my guess is. And then the other thing is you're taking away that tattoo client experience because
Yeah.
you're chatting with your friends. And I don't know. I think, this is an intimate skill set and time. So, I would recommend too. I'd be like, keep your friends at home.
Yeah, I don't mind a friend, but if it's a group, it's like maybe
Tattooing
not.
someone who passes out or someone who won't stop watching the needle.
Probably the second one.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind. Granted, it is kind of weird sometimes because it'll be like I'm working on them. It's like, hey, you all right? You're just watching it. I'd rather that than someone pass out. We've all been there. I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
I've almost been there before. Passy outies happen, but even better if someone doesn't pass out. And if one of your things to get through it is to watch it,
I've never
what you gotta
passed
do.
out on a tattoo, but I've passed out on some Botox or filler.
Like the lightheadedness, it's
Yeah,
like-
well, I think it's because it's like in my face, so I would never be able to do a tattoo to my face. But that's also not something I really want. Kudos to you that do. Tattoo regret stories or tattoo addiction stories?
Oh my gosh. Maybe regret stories because I'm going to go on a limb here because it makes an interesting story. Like if a client were to come in for a tattoo regret story, I think that's interesting, but because then, hear me out, we can either cover it up or rewrite the narrative
Yeah.
and make something different with it.
I wouldn't have guessed that one for you. Actually, that's the one that you answered that I wouldn't have guessed. Someone who says make it bigger, or someone who says make it smaller.
Make it bigger. Make it bigger. go bigger, go big, go home. And you could do more stuff when it is bigger.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then my last one, a 5-minute tattoo or a 5-hour tattoo, which I think that kind of.
Maybe the 5-hour one.
Yeah, you just said bigger. And
Yeah. There's just more you can do with it. 5 minutes, I don't mind. If you like little tattoos, I welcome them. Not to steer you away from them. But a big project's always fun because it's a journey of it and you get to have this big customized thing that's your own.
So we've talked about tattoo questions, rapid fire. I want to end this on 2 things. One, I want to talk a little bit about the people that are at the Ram's Horn. You mentioned Robert, Michaela, or Mike. Sorry, I'm saying.
No, you said it right.
Michaela.
Yes.
And then who's the new gal?
Kira.
All right, so I know Robert is great at pretty much everything. He likes to tell stories. He does some strange tattoos. I know Michaela is known for like her smaller, detailed tattoos. I've heard, and like floral and things like that. What is Kira known for?
Kira, if I had to speak for her, and Kira, I'm sorry if I'm butchering this, but from what I've gathered is that she really likes to do old school traditional stuff like Gothica, dark natured stuff.
Cool.
So like old school traditional, but then also like scary girl. Like I don't know if you ever seen stuff where it's like pretty lady, but then like like freaky stuff.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yep. She's the gal.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to more Tat Talks in the future. In the future, we plan on doing something different, maybe possibly for our next Tat Talk. We want to let a voter possibility come in where we're going to vote for the best tattoo that has been given, possibly, from the 4 different artists at the Ram's Horn. I want you guys to pick a couple of your favorites. We'll pan out the details later, but you're going to be a part of that, as well as being a part of the next Tat Talk by submitting your questions to theramshorn@yahoo.com. And I'll catch you again next time, Kelsey.
Yeah. Till next time.
Thank
Till
you.
next time. Thank
Cheers.
you. And although I'm empty, I'll pretend.
We'll get you another one.